Yo, yo, yo! Happy New Year! That's it, I've said it. It's the only time I'm going to say it. What's the proper etiquette for when you actually stop saying Happy New Year? So, I don't know, but there you go. Okay, so a lot to talk about, really. I've had an absolutely fantastic break. 2 weeks off, and it's felt like I've been off for about a month. It's been nice, you know. We still got to go and see everyone Christmas and that, which was great. I feel well rested. I'm on my way back to work. It's been a really, really good Christmas. It's been lovely to see the little one with all her stuff. She's getting into it now. She's 2 years old, well, 2.5, and she starts to understand it a little bit more, knows who Santa is and enjoys the presents and all that. It's been really, really nice, really good, really good. What else? It snowed. I've had lots of time making new tracks. I've got about 4 now in the pipeline. I've had a new MacBook Pro M1, and so far it's absolutely brilliant. Love it. I'm re-inspired. All my programs work, and the work it's so smooth and quick. So yeah, I'm just blasting stuff out at the minute. I'm not focusing so much on making a track, releasing it, making a track, releasing it. I'm just going to make a load of tracks. I got some advice from a brand called Elevate Artists UK. I think they're Birmingham based, and yeah, I've been watching a lot of their stuff because the guys that do it, you know, they're currently working in the scene and they're making waves, and I like fresh people basically, because they actually give you the time of the day. When people are more established, they get a little bit snobbish, and they don't, well, I don't know if they're snobbish, but they just don't give you the time. And I can understand why. You're very, very busy in that world. When I was in that world, I was very, very busy, but I've always had the mentality of wanting to help people, and it's kind of made me think with this. Oh yeah, Boris has announced another national lockdown again, hasn't he, last night? So yeah, it's a bit of a bittersweet, really, isn't it? So with 2020, everyone was like, I can't wait for it to go, I can't wait for it to go. But I always think with every crisis comes opportunity. Like, you know, people will be thirsty for new events and for going out and stuff. So I've been thinking about it, and I think I'm going to start putting on an event again, because I can see a little gap in the market with the genre that I'm really feeling at the minute. And I'm just doing the groundwork at the minute, understanding costs of venues and where to put it on, and you know what I mean. I'm doing my research, I'm doing the legwork. This mask, I still have to keep pulling it up, it keeps getting caught in my mouth, sorry. So yeah, I'm doing the legwork at the minute. I'm just making inquiries, you know, just putting the feelers out there, just starting to make it tangible. That's what I'm starting to do. So, you know, I'm doing all the work now while I haven't got the chance to go out and soak up the vibes again. And that's another thing it's made me realise, is that, you know what I mean, I stopped going out because obviously I had my demons, I had my dark days, but I'm over that now. But like, I was over that, and I've just, you know, I've been looking after the little one, and I've got another one on the way. So, you know, I've got a completely different mindset now. Rather than going out to party, I just want to go out to socialise and to get back in the scene and make contacts and start putting an event on myself. And it's not to be the front man, the big boy, the top dog, and the fucking, you know, it ain't to do that at all. My mentality is completely different now. My mentality is I'd love to quit my day job and do what I love doing, which is music and everything music based. But also as well, I've got a different mindset in the fact that I want to be able to put on, because I've got money now. I want to be able to put on an event and get other people involved, young up and coming people, young DJs, young promoters, you know what I mean, and offer contribute back into the scene. Basically, that's what I want to do. So my mentality is completely different, and I don't want to do it all for myself. I want to get other people involved. So I think it's going to be a good year. Once all this lockdown's lifted, hopefully we'll all be lifted soon, and we can just get on with it, can't we? But until then, I'm just putting the legwork in. But my mentality, my New Year's resolution this year, because normally it's like I'm going to eat nothing but whole foods, and that's it. And you always fail, don't you, when you make them kind of statements for New Year. So this year, I'm just saying, just go with the flow. I mean, this morning was a perfect example. Like I get up at like 5 o'clock every day. I try to get up at 5 o'clock every day. 9 times out of 10 I do. And I go through my morning routine. These routines help me get out of my shit, basically. And it's like getting up and I meditate for a bit, and then I do a gratitude journal. I write down my goals, and I do a bit of exercise, whether it be a bit of yoga or a bit of free weights, whatever it is, just to get the body going. And that takes me about an hour every morning, and it just sets my mindset up. It just gets my mindset in the right frame of mind for the day. And I've done that now for years and years and years. Like it was what helped me get out of my substance alcohol dependency state and develop myself. So I still do that. So I'm up at 5 o'clock, and I try and do that every morning. And this morning was a typical example. It was like my daughter got me up at like 4:30. So instead of like being gutted, I can't do my morning routine, my daily routine, I sat with her and we done stickers, and we read a book and made a breakfast and that before I went to work. And I don't usually get to do that, and I just soaked that up. Because that, I tell you what, I watched something on Disney, because that's all I ever watch now is Disney and CBeebies. And we watched something on Disney. I prefer Disney because I can actually get into the stuff that's on the telly. So that Soul came out, didn't it? On Disney Plus over Christmas. So we watched that, and it's about a jazz musician who his passion is music, and he thinks it's his destiny, and he dies basically, and his soul goes to this place, and he says, "Oh, I ain't finished my life's work," and that. And the message of the old aim of the message of the film basically is that life, the meaning of life is to live. It's not about doing your passions. It's just about enjoying life. And I swear to God, it proper resonated with me. It's and as I said, that's a perfect example this morning. Before I'd have been like, "Oh man, I ain't done my daily routine. It's gonna mess my day up." And that mindset already, it's already messed my day up, hasn't it? Whereas this morning, I just thought, my daughter isn't going to be with me forever. She's not going to be waking me up at 4 o'clock. She might wake me up at 4 o'clock in the morning when she comes in from a night out or something, but she's not going to be up at 4 in the morning, is wanting to sit on my knee and read a book. So enjoy it, man. Enjoy the life. You can get too wrapped up in wanting to keep on it, attacking your goals, aggressively attacking your goals. It's all great, but things get in the way sometimes. And what do you do then? When something gets in the way, do you just stop? So, as I said, I've got different little projects on the burners, and I'm always reverting back to one simple thing: make good music, because that's what I love doing, and contribute to the scene that I love, and just start living, and don't take things too seriously. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at. Don't know what we're going to be doing about this bloody vaccine and that. I mean, there's a whole subject there, isn't there? I mean, the old me, when the internet first started, well, I wouldn't say when the internet started, but when it started becoming more mainstream, and I started watching YouTube and that, and you start watching all these videos, you start to go in this conspiracy tunnel, don't you, with Alex Jones and all them, and you're like, and I think what it is, I think humans have a natural tendency to think that they know the secret. You know what I mean? They know the secret. They know the reason why why we're in debt, and they know the reason why, you know, the world is the way it is, and they like to blame everybody else rather than taking ownership of it themselves. And that's no criticism to people, because it's, you know, I was the same. You know what I mean? Trying to justify why I was the way I was, and, you know, all this sort of stuff anyway. But I did go through that because it was new, and I was like, man, it was like all the law of attraction and thinking things into existence and all that. You know what I mean? Whereas now I'm just like, man, it's a bit daft, isn't it, really? I completely value the principles, because in essence it's true. The things that you focus on, and that you have to give it, you can't just focus on something and it appears. You have to focus on something and take action. Keep taking action and don't give up, and then eventually it will come to you. It's just it's obvious, it makes sense. Whereas they try and spin it with quantum physics and all this kind of stuff to say, oh, this is how the world works, and if you do it, it's going to happen. So, and don't get me wrong, when I was doing it, strange things were happening, but it's just serendipity, isn't it? It's just coincidence. Or you could say it's, you put yourself in that way, give yourself that many opportunities because you put yourself out there. Eventually, you know, you get more things come to you. It's just probability factors, isn't it? You know, the more you put yourself out, it's like the more you fly, the more chance you got to crash. The more you drive, the more chance you got to crash, isn't it? That's looking at it on a bit of a dark term, isn't it, really? But you know what I'm saying, yeah? But yeah, so you can see why people are scared of these vaccines, and, you know, they don't want to do them and that, and I completely understand and that. But the more I've like grew up is, like, I was in Wetherspoons just before the lockdown, and there was a poster up in the toilet. This is my words of wisdom. And on there, it just had a picture of Boris Johnson and all his little cronies from Downing Street. And it was showing what university they went to, and they all went to Oxford. Bloody all of them. It was all at Oxford. And I was like, I've heard people say, just follow the money. It's all about money. And it is. It's not about, people say, oh, it's all about control, and they wanna control you and that. And there probably is people out there that do want to do that. I'm not going to write it off because I don't know, do I? I don't know. It could be a global cabal that want to, I don't know, inject microchips into you and that. I don't know, and nobody does. You know what I mean? So I'd never discredit it. I don't ridicule people for thinking that, because I can understand why. Because society isn't good to people. It can be mean to people. So I understand where people are coming from. I've got a bit of empathy for people, but I just wish people would take more ownership to try and get themselves out of where they're at. Stop looking at the bad news, and stop looking at the internet and thinking that the world's against them and that's why they can't get out. That's why they can't release themselves from the shackles of society. But I just think, when I saw this poster with Boris Johnson, I just thought, they're all from Oxford. They're desperately clinging on to keeping us scared about this coronavirus, and people are like, it's because they want to control us, because they want us locked up. The Conservatives don't want to stop the economy. That's daft. That's where their income comes from. They get their money from us going to work and paying them. So it's just daft how people think that. But you look at it, right? They're all from Oxford. And where does this vaccine come from? Oxford. I just think in my head, and this is just really simple, Boris Johnson has got all his old mates from Oxford, and his old mates from Oxford are going, oh, this virus, we're gonna make a vaccine. You better keep the people scared, so everybody has this vaccine, because I'm spending a lot of money on this vaccine. Now, if this virus goes away all of a sudden, I've just spunked £1 billion away developing this vaccine. So I want everyone in the country to have this vaccine. You're my old chum. I've just gave you loads of money to help you get into power. Now it's time for you to do your little bit and get me my payday so I can go and buy my little island and fuck off basically and have meetings about controlling the world. You know what I mean? So that's where I think it is. I just think it's greed, it's money, people are scared of vaccines because of the internet, because you get the chance to hear people from across the globe who've had incidents, and it's very focused, isn't it? It's very focused, and you always remember the bad stuff. So I just think people are justifiably all they are, they're just worried for the kids, they're just worried for the children. I've had vaccines. When I went travelling, I had no qualms about going and having jabs in my arm. But when it comes to my daughter, I'm like, oh God, do you think it's right giving your baby 10 injections before them even one? I'm like, no, I disagree with that a little bit, you know what I mean? I'd rather let her grow up a little bit and then start giving her in singles instead of just bombarding them. But I do believe that these vaccines don't really cause harm, but I do think that there is cases where people have adverse effects, and as I said, that 1 in a million, that's the thing that sticks in your mind, and you just think, what if it was me? It's the same principle as winning the lottery. People wouldn't buy lottery tickets if they didn't think they had a chance of winning. So people ain't going to have a vaccine if they think there's going to be a chance of their kids getting autism or God knows what. You know what I mean? So you've got to have some sympathy for these people who think this. So I just want things to go back to normal. I think the vaccines are all okay. I think it's a quick buck for the people who are making them. I think if every single person in the country, I don't know how many's in the country now, 60 million, something like that. I ain't looked in for a long time. But you imagine every one of them people have that, and every vaccine costs 20 quid, and it comes out the taxpayers' money, and it goes to Boris Johnson's Oxford friends, then they're going to be very, very rich. You know what I mean? It's as simple as that. So, yeah, for a little injection in your arm that probably isn't going to cause anyone any harm. It's a little bit of whatever that gets injected into you. Job's done, 20 quid, thank you very much. Every single person in the country has it. Because I just think, why do they want every single person in the country to have it? Surely it should just be vulnerable people. Yeah, that's all it should be. But no, they want every single person in the country to have it. I don't get that. Really don't get that. Same as the lockdowns. I've never understood why everyone has to get locked down. Why not just look after the vulnerable people? I don't like to say lock down the vulnerable people, but the money that they've spent on this lockdown they could have just looked after the vulnerable really well. Got them, given them deliveries to get all the stuff, people to take all the things around for them, looked after them, bought them Wi-Fi, bought them a laptop, bought them things that kept them connected to the world, instead of just locking everyone down and people like me who am absolutely fit and healthy not go to work, not go out and spend the money. We was getting money for nothing. Well, I'm full-time employed, so I got furloughed, but there's people who are self-employed who just didn't go to work, who was fully capable of going to work, just getting money off the government. And it's just like, nothing's free, guys. Nothing is free. Nothing is free. We pay for it in the end. The government don't make money, we give them money. But anyway, I'm going off on a rant, and that's what this is all for, this isn't it? Well, I keep adjusting this, I know, but it is doing me, I keep getting caught in my mouth. So there we go. I'm 20 minutes in. So all I want to do, I want to end up on a positive. I'm looking at things from a positive spin, and it's time to look ahead, be excited for 2021. Make your opportunities. And I'm looking at this lockdown, I'm thinking, yeah, but is it so bad really? I mean, it's winter anyway. I'm trying to pay off all my debts, and that's one of my main goals, is to pay off my debts. So it's doing me a favour really. I can still go out and have a walk in the woods, and I'm still with my family. you know what I mean? So from my personal point of view, and I know other people have got other situations that, and I completely feel empathy for you, and I do, and I can't wait to get back out and help contribute back to these industries that have suffered. But from my personal point of view, I'm using it as a leverage. I'm leveraging it to do me well. I'm making music. I'm thinking about starting my record label. I'm thinking about starting my event. I'm doing my mixing and mastering services. I've got my family. Hopefully my jiu-jitsu club will open. Because I just want to get back training. But I'm still doing my exercise at home. So I'm keeping fit. I'm getting outside. I'm able to go to work. So, there we go. Just keep on keeping on. And let's hope that by the springtime, we are all back out. And I think it's going to be a nice year, a bit of a summer of love, I'd say. Hopefully everyone's just be getting rid of the drama, and you know what I mean, actually appreciate what they've got, the freedoms that they've got, and so they can go out. So I'm going to leave it on that anyway. So until tomorrow, peace out, have a good day, love you loads, bye.